think we're good to go.
Okay. Well, then it is my honor to get this thing started this evening. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Rosalind Hogan. I am the vice president of our alumni association. That would be the University City High School Alumni Association of University City High School in University City, Missouri, because there are three University City high schools in the country. We are the best, though. Just want to throw that out there. Tonight is our first, what I call our first episode of You to You. And You to You is just a conversation between um, past alum or older alum and current students or just recent alum, just, recently graduated alum, just to get those conversations going. The most important things that we need to be talking about to discuss how we can um, come together as a community, rebuild, rebrand, just come together, really, basically. And tonight we are talking specifically with our football coach, Mr. Derek Colquitt. And at this time, I want to introduce everyone to our moderator, Miss Anya Kendrick, who is one of our alumni sisters, graduate class of, I'm sorry, I almost said 19, graduate of 2016. And I'm turning the floor over to Miss Anaya.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, I'm so ready to go back to high school. I almost feel like, oh my goodness. Thank you guys for having me. Look, I'm Miss Hogan. Like, I'm so ready to say. No, thank you guys for having me host this. I'm super excited, to get this series started. But let me start off. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight with this You to You conversation series. As she's mentioned, my name is Anya Kendrick, and I am a graduate of the class of 2016 from University City High School, the Lions, not the Indians. Tonight, we're going to join head coach Derek Colquitt, and the member of his staff and UCity high school football players, along with some alums who formerly coached, played, or were involved with University City High School football. The coach is also going to lead the conversation, sharing some of his goals for the program, the players' experiences, and etc. I am going to engage the alums, kind of to share you guys' experience and kind of what that experience was like for you when you were at University City. We will wrap up the conversation with a question answer kind of situation there. And if you are joining us after the fact, if you're watching this later on, thank you for watching this in replay. You may be asking yourself, how can I get involved? You can do these by making sure that you follow us on social media, University City High School Alumni Association on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can join the association with a whopping $25 yearly fee, and volunteer your time with assisting the communications and marketing committee. We have class ambassadors, 2 or more people from each graduating class, expo committee, homecoming committee, sports hall of fame, so many things that you can get involved with. The alumni picnic that we do, the newsletter, and there will be more details. If you have any others, there is an email that you can always reach out to, University City High School alumni. But I am super excited. Oh, alumni@gmail.com. I apologize. I'm super excited to listen to what our coach has to say, some of those goals and ideals and things that he wants to bring to the University City students. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our current University City High School football coach, Derek Colquitt.
Hello and good evening to everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm very excited about this, and I think this is going to be a wonderful event for years to come. A little bit about myself. Again, my name is Derek Colquitt. Graduated from University City class of 2000, the Lions as well. I'm happy to have a couple coaches on board on with me right now. A couple football players I actually played with in high school. So this is my first year, of course, and I knew coming in it was going to be a challenge. It was going to be a struggle, but I was excited and up for the task. I actually applied for the head coach position 3 times, right? And that's how much University City means to me. Coming in, I automatically realized that these young men, it was going to be a trust issue. Most of the guys, myself and the coaches, we were the 3rd coaching staff that most of the young men had in 3-4 years. And we came in pretty hard. I mean, we had a gym full of young men, and we put them to the test. The ones who stayed, I know they got better. The ones who left, I pray that they find their way back. But there's a few things that I know that we need versus want. Definitely want to make sure we continue with pregame meals before each and every game. I thought that was so important. We definitely need to address the field, the track. Those 2 items have been there since I played there before, right? So now safety becomes an issue. I am thankful for the administration. They have been phenomenal up to this point, and got some things that we definitely needed for the program equipment-wise, but I just know there's more, right? And if it's not financial, we definitely need to just open up the doors to have alums come up and support and give words of wisdom, anything. So I'm an open book. Part of the plan of taking over this program was to open up the doors to UCity. UCity is very special to me. I thank my wife being on tonight. She is in the district as well. My mother, sister still live in University City. I have a 5th grade son at Flint Park. So this is important to me, right? And I want to restore that pride that we had when, I came through University City. That's what I have right now.
You're muted. Anaya, you're muted.
Oh, that's been a problem since 2020, y'all.
Yeah.
So I do thank you for sharing that. Now I'm going to ask if there are any alum that kind of want to share their experience with their time when they played football for University City.
I guess I think first I would like to see kind of introduction just to see who's all on here. I'm a graduate of '86, but I saw the post on Facebook, and I've been wanting to get back involved with UCity anyway, and this kind of caught my eye. So if we can kind of start with just an introduction of everyone, just so I can kind of see who's on here, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Anaya, you want to go ahead and take the lead on that?
Yes, I apologize. I have my laptop open and it's not moving as quickly as I would have preferred, you guys. Give me one moment. I think we have somebody. Is this?
Because you can just, or do you have the same layout as I have where we just kind of go across the rows?
Uh-huh. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I apologize.
Fred,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, why don't you start by introducing yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Fred Lewis, the president of the University City High School Alumni Association, class of 1981. I'm so proud to have Derek Colquitt. I'm so proud to have Derek Colquitt as a coach and have this UDU gathering. It's something that was a brainstorm, and I think we are in desperate need of it. I played football when I was at high school in U City, track, and I did a little basketball, but this is to touch the U City alums that have not been in touch with the struggle that the school and these young people are having this generation. And first and foremost, I want to thank my administrative team, Rosalind Hogan, she's a vice president, Linda Pritchard is a secretary, and Marion Reed is the secretary. But we've done a lot to try to pull things together with alums of all generations, all ethnic groups, just to have a strong base. So this is a start of the UU activity that we would like to have for a plethora of different agendas dealing with U City, because we need you in the U, not to be so U. And everybody says I'm so U City, but we need U City in the building. So that's my introduction. I appreciate you all for being here, and hopefully this will be a experience that will be overwhelming and very beneficial.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys' patience with that laptop issue I had. I do have a list of our football players that we have on the Zoom. If I missed anyone, please feel free to let me know. We have Alan Spector, football quarterback, 1963, class of 1964. We have Pete Woods, former University City High School football player and former Kansas City Chief. Kenny Schwartz, class of 1967. Ken Powers. And we have Brandon Griffin, class of 2008. Is there anyone that I missed?
There's a few other people on here as well. So we'd like everyone to, as Mr. Rice said, just go ahead and introduce yourself, maybe share your class. Pete, I'm sorry I didn't have your class on the list. Could you want to share that with us?
1974.
Okay, so class of 74. But if everyone else wants to go ahead and introduce themselves as well, and with their class, their class, if they played football, if they didn't play football, because the overarching goal of this is to touch on different areas, whether it be sports, clubs, organizations, what have you. But we mainly want to just make sure that, as Mr. Lewis was saying, that we have alums come back into the fold and get in where you fit in. So there are going to be so many opportunities for you to get engaged with our students. So as Mr. Lewis said, I'm Linda Pritchard, secretary, but we'll go ahead and continue with the introductions and then give alums time to chime in and share what they need to share.
Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and go because I started and didn't even introduce myself. Ken Rice, I'm class of 1986. I was also an Indian, and I did play football at U City from 82 to 86. And yeah, I still love U City. My office, I'm an insurance agent in University City, so I still have some roots in University City. And this was one of my goals was definitely to start participating and back with University City. So this was my first opportunity. So I do appreciate this opening.
I can go next if you want. My name is Dale Burnett. I'm a class of 1999. I did participate in football for all 4 years. And currently I'm on the staff under Coach Derek Colquitt.
Can they hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Coach Milton Green. I also graduated in 1996 from U City. So I was I was there in 92, so I was an Indian and a Lion. I played football all 4 years. I ran track. I also coach up there down in Derek Colquitt. I coached girls basketball for 2 years up there. And coaching baseball right now. So My daughter graduated from there not too long ago, and my son is graduating this year. So yeah, I have some roots there. I mean, I think I've been coaching there maybe 4 years now. Yeah.
I'm Michael Bullard. Came out 1998. Played football, basketball, and baseball. Currently, assistant varsity basketball coach in the city. And I'm the head security at Hammond Park.
I'll introduce myself. I am not an alumni. However, I will be joining Coach Colquitt's staff this year for football. I graduated from Cleveland Junior Naval Academy, and I work in investments at Citi, and I've been coaching football since I came from college, since 2005 at different schools. So, good afternoon, everybody.
Welcome. Okay, everybody, don't get shy. I see a few more people on here.
All right, I'll go next. So I'm Alan Spector. I'm from the class of 1964, and I played football all 4 years. Although back in the day, our 9th grade freshmen were at the junior highs, so we only had 3 classes at the high school. I also had the pleasure of playing on the 1963 state championship baseball team. So we did win the state championship back there. And I've had the honor of being inducted into the High School Hall of Fame in 2011. And since doing that, I've been the MC for each of the induction ceremonies at the high school. And I guess the last thing I'll mention is I've had the opportunity to write 2 books about the school district. One of them is called Hail, Hail to U City High. And the other one is the 100-year anniversary book that was written in 2011. So I guess I want to emphasize that I think it's a great idea to do everything we can to bring alumni back to get involved in the school. So I'm glad that this is going on, and anything we can do in that regard would be great.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dietrich Colquitt, proud class of 98, and I am currently one of the principals at Persian Elementary School.
Thank you.
This is Pete Woods again. Just as a fuller background, I grew up in U City and graduated, as I said before, in 1974, played football, basketball, baseball there, and then played at Mizzou, and then 4 years in the NFL. I want to apologize in advance. I just became aware of this meeting this afternoon. I need to take off in just a few minutes, but I'm encouraged that efforts are being made to connect alums with the program. I know some of my classmates are interested. We're coming up on our 50th reunion in a couple of years, and we're in contact with a lot of folks, and it would be nice to be able to connect back to the high school. I was reaching out to Linda today, and we have some interest in actually through our class to sponsor scholarship for U City students and other ideas, and be happy to hear what others have to say and what their experiences have been, and connect. So I'm happy to be here for the next 8 or 9 minutes, and then I'll be happy to watch the balance of this to the extent that you post it.
I'm gonna chime in real quick on you, Pete. I'm Fred Lewis. I'm 81. I remember accolades about you when I was a little boy. I met you.
Careful.
I met you a few
He
times.
was an older boy.
Yeah, I know, Fred.
He was a little old, but I appreciate all things that you've done in U-City, the tradition, the passion, the commitment from you and your family to stay connected with the program. And we have to bring people back.
Right.
There's something in this water that makes us the greatest alumni base on the planet Earth. And I love it. And I love seeing you back. And before you got a chance to go, man, I appreciate you, man. And please get into the building.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Fred. And there's been some frustration because I have reached out a couple times. I won't say continuously, but a couple times in the past, both to some football coaches, athletic director, et cetera. And there hasn't been a strong, what I viewed as response and make it easy for folks to get involved. And I'm like Alan, I'm a member of the U-City High School Hall of Fame, and that's a good place to start. Bring a lot of those folks back, and I hope through it's just improved communication. That's what it's all about. And I appreciate whoever's been initiating this. Never too late, right?
Right. Plus, I have your email now, Pete.
Thank you, Linda.
Hey, Mr. Woods, I just want to chime in before you take off. I haven't met you, but I'm glad you joined this evening, and I'll love to sit down and talk to you and throw some ideas your way, and definitely do something special for that class of what year was it? I'm sorry.
It'll be 50 years in a couple of years. 1974, yeah, so Linda's got my contact information. I'd be happy to do whatever you need, come in, just interact with the fellows. So tell me what that is, and I'll do what I can, both personally and other guys that are interested.
Hey, Pete, you're just a rookie. We're planning our 60th.
Alan, I'm just happy to see you here. Now, when you wrote that 100-year anniversary book, were you in the inaugural class or were you later than that?
Hey, not that much. Lighten up, Pete.
All right.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too, Alan.
Hi, my name's Kenny Schwartz. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Or no? We're in our car. I'm on the way to the Fox for the production tonight. So I did want to just call in and listen as much as I could. I've been heavily involved in alumni activities since around Thanksgiving and Marion can vouch for this. I've spent a lot of time in the high school library. I did a project for Matt Brooks to try to find conference championships and district championships and state championships for all of the various teams for men and women going back to the inception of the high school, because apparently some of the records had been lost. So that took me a lot of time looking through dials and looking through old papers, newspapers, and basically I gave him all the information. So he told me he's in the process of putting together 30 banners to put all of the various championships in the new gym, the new basketball court in the gym, and also I think in the auditorium. I think he said they were going to be in February, and I'm not sure when they're going to go up. So I did work on that for several weeks. And while I was doing that, I also got involved in some other projects relating to alumni in the Hall of Fame. And I'm actually working with Alan a little bit and Mr. B on that, along with Jerry Stack. And basically the goal is to try to increase awareness of the Hall of Fame and make sure that everybody is aware of it and get more exposure to it. So that's kind of my interest. And I'm kind of like Pete, we're on our way to the Fox. So I'm just going to listen in for a little bit more, but I just wanted to let you know I'm very interested in alumni affairs and trying to get more involved and helping out in any way I can. Thank you.
Kenny, let us know how 6 is.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah. And if you're digging for stuff, I got my the Globe Democrat Player of the Year trophy is somewhere in storage. I'd love to see if somebody could find it.
Yeah,
it's not in the trophy case.
No, I didn't go. I told Matt he could look through the trophy case. He told me at this point he was just looking through teams. So I wasn't looking for individuals, although I did find some that, are not in the Hall of Fame that I'm recommending or thinking that we should recommend at times that, in time. So, but yeah,
There you go.
I'll see about the trophy.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
want to piggyback on that. He called me to ask for some assistance in looking up the archives, but he spent many hours in the library of Mary and told me. And the one thing I'm really advocating is to have a University High School athletic Hall of Fame, where we can get more people and more have archives, have trophies, have memorabilia, and actually have a physical place, a room in the building at the high school where people can come and relish those historical moments of all the sports that we've encountered. So I appreciate all your work. Find those banners, and the gym is outstanding. They repurposed the gym or redesigned the layout of the gym, and they put some banners up. But there are more to come.
Mm-hmm. You guys, I think it's so exciting listening to you guys talk about your stories. We haven't even gotten into the meat of it, but it's really exciting to see you guys' excitement for being alum. And, even myself, I graduated in 2016, but listening to some of the things, that you guys have done is super awesome. And I think a really outstanding thing about the football team specifically, whenever you graduated, is you always kind of saw that brotherhood and that the leadership that came from being a football player, JV, varsity, whatever. You always kind of got to see that. And I think that it would be really awesome if we could kind of get some insight on if you're still available on the call, if we can kind of get a little insight on what your experience was. It doesn't have to be, an hour or so, but some of those key experiences that you feel really stuck with you and really helped while you were there, the team thrive. If we could kind of get some insight, if you can do a little reflecting. I'm sorry to put you guys on the spot so quickly, but if you, just kind of reflect on what in the time that you were playing football made the team successful, and what were you able to take with you after leaving UCity that our future students or our current students can, take with them, or that you would like to see for the future of our current University City High School students?
I apologize for jumping in here. I got to get going, but let me just say, I was in the transition. My class was the last class that was more white than black. And going back, transitioning from the 60s, Alan's going to relate to this. It was Jew City for some, a very heavy Jewish population. My mother's Jewish, so I related to this. But we transitioned during the time I was there from 71 to 74. And to me, UCity, and we deal with this all the time in our reunion meetings and folks, there was a camaraderie because we went through it together, that transition. And I have a philosophy that life is about relationships, and especially true of sports. The relationships that I enjoy from the guys that I played with and the people that I knew. I went to Mizzou on an athletic scholarship, and there were two other guys from UCity. So there were three of us in the same year, a guy named Lamont Downer, another guy named Petey Anderson, William Petey Anderson, who passed in the last couple of years. And, it's those connections that I hold dear, that to me are what sports are all about, which is what we ought to be reflecting about in life generally, but especially when you go through the battles with people, with guys, especially in our case, in sports. And, I saw someone posted something about the importance of being involved in sports and all the different things you receive as a result of that. And I'm a beneficiary of that. I've been practicing law for 38 years, but a lot of what I gained from playing sports, discipline, teamwork, all those different things that those of us who have played know are important to success have been keys to my life generally. And I'm happy to share some of those things. You said you don't want to go on for an hour. I won't. But I reflect back on my time in U City at just incredible relationships that I still enjoy, and I look forward to enjoying until I'm no longer around. So again, I got to run, but thank you for including me in this, and I look forward to being involved again.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Take care. Have a good night.
Good night.
Is there anyone else that would be willing to kind of share an experience or some things that they would like to see continue with the team that they may have gotten when they were playing football as well?
I'll go. To your question, I think when I was there, being a part of the football team, it gave me a purpose and, gave me motivation to do the right thing. If that makes any sense. I know my time, in the hallways and outside of the field, my choices wasn't always the best. But to be able to participate on the football team and amongst the brothers, that I, acquired on the team, I felt that, it was a reason, I was there. And, a lot of them, and the coaches, as well as the, the teachers at the time, held me accountable. So that was my big push. And that's something that I look back to, as I've been coaching over the years, is being able to give back and being able to help out and talk to, what individuals refer to as maybe the knuckleheads, those that are, on the edge, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, to be able to give them the before and after. And, some things that, how the one wrong decision could, jeopardize, their life, going forward forever. So I'm really big on that, trying to shine a positive light on what football really does for you. Because to me, I find, aspects of life, in football. A lot of people think it's just a game, but there's pieces and, moments, as you go through that journey that give you life lessons, being able to sacrifice, and, deal with people that you don't want to, going through the, the blood, sweat, and tears of it all, having somebody to rely on you, having common goals, things of that nature. And like you said, I know you don't want a whole hour speech, but that's the, the big picture for me, like I said, the brotherhood and giving individuals out there a purpose and a reason to do the right thing. Like I think that's one of the things why I recently started or established a chess club up there at the high school. So I have that going on now, and I'm trying to invite, all the people that wouldn't think that, chess clubs should go on in U City. I wanted to broaden that out. So, that's out there too. I'm not sure if the alumni knows about that, but I don't want just people that know how to play chess. I want those that, may have thought about it and give them an opportunity to really entertain it and really go forward with it. And even, it started with just being there at the football practices and saw, a young guy, interested. So it kind of ballooned from there.
Cool.
That's it for me.
Well, thank you. I'm super excited about the chess club. I didn't know that was a thing, but hey, I've been out for a hot second. So I can't say that I would be up to date. That's really awesome. Thank you. Is there anybody else that has a specific experience or anything that they kind of took value from the football team that they feel like they want to continue for the current team? Or any
I guess just
I'll
to
speak. I guess. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Ken.
No, I guess I kind of want to stay focused because I understand the football team has some needs. So I'm assuming part of that is to identify some of their needs. But I guess as far as experience that I learned from high school playing football, I think I incorporated it. I mean, a lot of what I do today. You meet a lot of people, you develop a lot of relationships. And some of those relationships, they're still, some of my closest friends today. You learn the teamwork, the discipline, the relationships. I'm an insurance agent now. What I realize now, that's really the most important thing that you can have is developing a relationship with someone. So, a lot of the people that I went to school with, I still try to keep in contact with them, continue to grow relationships with them. I don't know if you guys know, DeAndre Smith used to be a quarterback at UCity. Well, he's now the assistant running back coach for the New York Giants. His team made it to the playoffs this year. So I don't know if you knew that, but we need to really get that out there. He did a real good job being the assistant running back coach, and his team made to the NFL. They made it to the playoffs this year. So, but to stay on task, you can definitely learn a lot from UCity. One of the things I do remember, and then I'll move on, is we used to have 3 days. And looking back, it used to be probably 90, 100 degrees. It's probably illegal to do now, I'm guessing. But back then, I mean, you had the camaraderie with the guys. You walk to somebody's house, get something to eat, and then you had to go back in a couple of hours, but you develop relationships, and everybody went through that same journey. And we still laugh and joke about that today, but you develop strong relationships and bonds from that. And I think that's real important in life in general.
Mhm.
I can go on about other stuff, but I'll leave it at that. I'm pretty sure they probably don't do the 3 days anymore.
Yeah, Ken, the insanity of 3 days caused me to stop doing football in high school. That was insane. So I focused on track. But those 3 days were ungodly vicious.
3 days are no fun, and actually, no, you can't do 3 days. You can do 2 a days now, but one of the 2 practices has to be a walkthrough.
You know what,
So,
Derek, Mr.
Yeah.
Copeland, I came to our city this summer, and you guys were out there at 3 o'clock to 98 degrees. I thought that was illegal. But that's the landscape of football this day and age, just to keep pushing.
It builds character.
It builds character, and it's all about the humidity. What is the humidity?
Man, whatever, dude. You've been in Arizona. You still been fine.
I will say this: we were able to utilize our facilities, right? So a couple of days, we after a hot day of practice, we were able to go to the natatorium and get the guys in the pool, and they had a blast, right? Not knowing that it was recovery, it was a workout for them, and those were some of the biggest smiles we saw all summer. So that's awesome. I mean, but it's one of those things. We had to play in the heat, so we had to get used to it. And trust me,
that made sense to me after the season started.
So let me just add a couple of things. Ken, first of all, they are due by Friday. This Friday, but it would not be a bad idea to nominate DeAndre for the High School Hall of Fame. That's worthy of what he's done, but there's only a couple of days left in this cycle, and then you'd have to defer to next year. So there's a website that's got the nomination form if you haven't been there before. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to do.
Alan, I'm glad you brought, I'm sorry to interrupt you, because now that you get back to it. I'm glad you brought that up. Well, I'll make sure to drop the Hall of Fame information on the official University City High School Alumni Association site on Facebook. So that, because a lot of people are unaware of what the process is. So I'll grab that tonight and drop it out there. Thank you.
No, he was a year younger than me. I don't know if he graduated from UCity. Does that matter?
It does.
I can't remember if he transferred.
I think he graduated.
His senior year.
He graduated from Berkeley. Yeah, I think he graduated from Berkeley.
So I know he played probably sophomore, junior year. Okay, so he did transfer to Berkeley, so I got to scratch that.
Okay.
But regardless, we still want to make sure people know what
Right.
what the Hall of Fame is, what the process is. So if you know of anyone in your class, because you can nominate whomever as long as they're a graduate. So I'll make sure to get that out. But go ahead, Alan.
No, I was just going to say, Kenny Schwartz is now off the call, but that's what he's working on. And when he said he's going to raise the profile to make sure people are understanding what the process is. I want to build on something, Del, that you said. I had lunch the other day with 3 guys that I played with in 1963, and we didn't have a very good year our senior year, but we upset McClure when they were ranked 4th in the city. And to this day, honest to goodness, we sat there at lunch 60 years later and were able to call the plays of the last series that put us over got us the touchdown to win that game. So, and Ken, you talked about relationships and the importance of whatever it took for us to have the concentration back then to be able to remember the play calls 60 years later is a life lesson, Del. And I think you're right on. That's what's so important. The only thing I would add, and then I'll go back on mute, is Coach, the alumni, when we come up on a reunion, one of the things that at least my class does, and I think others do as well, is they go to Principal Peoples and say, hey, we want to make a financial class gift. What would be appropriate for us to do? And he gives us a few suggestions, or he guides us to somebody else. I think it would be great if he included in that list some of the things that you need from a football program standpoint. And those gifts are normally pretty substantial.
No, that would be awesome. There are some things, like I said, that we need, and you and I can get together and talk about some of those things. It's not a laundry list, but there are some things. I think the most important with these young people, and Coach Lewis and I were talking earlier. Coach Lewis was one of my favorite coaches when I was coming up through University City. And I think the difference between then and now, one, we were in the district a lot longer, right? So we knew everybody and we were able to build that trust and bond amongst each other and the coaches. So they were able to, attract us internally. I think these young people now, it's changing them outside in, right? So what does that look like? The way we travel to and from football games, again, the things that we're feeding them before the games and during the games, and even after, and even if it's not financial, right? I don't want to keep preaching just all about finance, but just the support. We were blessed and fortunate to host the first 2 playoff games at home. First being against Bishop DeBerg, and then the second versus Herculaneum. I'm always looking forward, right? And I'm looking at the stands, and the opposing team had more fans than we did, right? So some of those things I think are huge because that costs nothing but time, right? If you want to hold the chains, or Ms. Pritch and I have been talking about this golf tournament that I wanted to do last year that we ended up canceling because we didn't have enough people signed up, right? I want to do a golf tournament, this spring when it breaks, to raise funds for the football program. The different camps that we take over the summer, we can, pay their way. Myself and 2 coaches this past Saturday took a group of 5 football players to Missouri Valley. And the district, took care of it, which was awesome, right? And all 5 of those young men were offered at Missouri Valley. So we just never know, like, what comes up, giving these guys, protein shakes or, meals after workouts. We've been working out now since Thanksgiving has ended. So there's just a lot of things that comes about with football, replacing equipment, adding equipment to the weight room. I can go on and on, but I don't want to bore you with that. But those are just a few things that I know is needed. at the high school. My ultimate goal, and I can end with this, is to put a quote unquote gate back around University City. Okay. We have a wonderful JFL program that is historic. Brittany Woods, they did flag football this year, and of course the high school, right? But I think in the past, because we haven't had stability at the top, we use a lot of good student athletes to other districts or private schools, and I just want to put a gate back around UC to keep our own there.
You know, Derek, one thing about isolating our kids, the kids have to have a purpose and a reason to stay in a good product that they can aspire to be a part of with some great leadership. And the main thing is give them opportunity to elevate to a higher education with a scholarship. To hear that you got 4 kids that got offers is incredible. And I love that. That's what I'm always about, is that scholarship opportunity where you can save a family a lot of money. But we need to give them something that's promising that avoids them from going to other places because they think the grass is greener. We need to have the most luscious grass, including our football field that has potholes in it, to be replaced so they can practice while being injured and have a facility that is second to none, as you city residents and athletes and students should have.
Absolutely. Is there anyone else that has some insight or anything before we go into our next segment?
Hello, I did have one thing to say. I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, but I'm Emmanuel Price, class of 2012. For you know, Coach Cole quit pretty well. He's known me my whole life. And my coach, Coach Lewis, is on here. Graduate 2012, like I said, I'm also a state champion 2012 in the triple jump. I was also a part of the state championship track and field team in 2010. And although I didn't play football, I think one thing that helped my team and myself as I matriculated through U City and my athletic journey was stuff like this. U City has a historic tradition in athletics, and I was fortunate enough to have older siblings that attended U City long before I did. And I was able to connect with former athletes and hear their stories and how passionate they were about U City and the tradition. So I think, you know, for me, what helped was connecting with former athletes and hearing their stories and their journeys and what it led to for them helped a lot. So doing small things like this and connecting athletes to former athletes in this space would definitely help a lot. Knowing that, you know, Coach Lewis was a former state champion in the triple jump, and he became my coach, motivated me to become a state champion as well. And you know, I think, you know, small things like this could go a long way in connecting athletes in this space and doing small things like that. So just wanted to add that as well.
E-Man, Coach Lewis. Ain't no love but that E-love. I'm glad to see you, man.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
kid, best individual state champion in U City in the last 12 years. He was a triple jump state champion, outstanding kid, doing some remarkable things. I love you, dude. I'm glad to see your face on here, man. That's all I got to say.
Same here, Emmanuel. Like you said, man, been knowing you all your life. I graduated with Emmanuel's brother. We grew up together. Awesome family, but I'm happy you logged on, man. Good to see you.
Absolutely. That is so awesome. Look, I'm excited looking at all the connections. So thank you for that. The next part that we'll go into is just kind of some, you know, questions and answers. We have the coach here. So if we do have any, you know, inquiries or things that we want to ask, this is the time to do so. And if you don't mind, I would like to start and kind of ask Coach, what is your overall vision for the team? And what would you like to see moving forward for them, whether it be, you know, athletically or developmentally? What is your vision?
My vision for the program is, what the program did for myself and all others who have spoke before me, just making them or help them to become better young men when they leave the program, better fathers, sons, future husbands, leaders in the community, and most importantly, just, chasing their dreams, be it, the service, college football, other avenues, but just that pride, to leave with that pride that we all had when we left, University City. It's funny because, you tell people from UCity and they automatically call us a coach, right? It is what it is. And we preach to the guys all the time in practice, like, this is a special, special place. So my overall view definitely is to grow the program. But when I mean grow it from JFL through Brittany Woods to the high school. Again, keep our good student athletes in the district. The programs and the things that the high school offers now, it's amazing versus when I was coming out. But we just have to take advantage of it, right? The kids have to know that it's there and they have to take advantage of it. So I think this past season was definitely a good foundation. Always looking for more, always wanting to build more. And I'm an open book, right? Like, I don't know it all. I love football, I love coaching, but I know it's bigger than that. So I'm up for any suggestions, all the support. Anything, one thing I will say, right before Christmas break, we had a tragedy amongst the football team, the UCity family, and just to see the support from the district, from loved ones that was showed for these young people and adults, it was amazing. And I went into one of the classrooms where they were doing the counseling for the students, and to look up to see that there was an alum in there that was a counselor, it just did my heart well, right? And I think we just need more of that because it does take a village, and whatever avenue or wherever you're at as far as your station in life, it's needed for these young people. And, my heart is bigger than just football, basketball, track, water, polo, the swim, whatever it is. That is my overall vision for this program.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anyone else that has any questions? Any questions, Coach?
Yeah, I guess. So what? Well, it sounds like the coach needs we need another Zoom call specifically for coach needs. Because I think if you identify the items that he needs, and if some of those items get taken care of, whether it's the field, whatever the needs are, I think we should kind of start there. And I think not that I want to push the direction in the next meeting, but I think that would definitely, he has some needs and we need to figure out how to address those. And I'm definitely here to try to figure out how I can help with that.
Mr. Rice, I appreciate you, and I'll tell you what, I want to do this anyway. I'll put my cell phone number in the chat as well as my email. When you and I can talk, or along with the next meeting. But I would love that, and I definitely appreciate your help.
My pleasure.
Hey, I'm gonna jump back in. Coach Colquitt, can you the dynamic of our current students, this generation, and their needs? I know you mentioned the clothing, and it's a common thing of the nutrition. Tell us something now that some of the alums may not realize or even paid attention to. A lot of kids have no food. It's an essential to get that nutrition and protein. Can you share a little bit about that, how that impacts your program.
Yeah, definitely. So pregame meal was important. I mean, it got to the point where, the guys were asking us coaches on Wednesday, what were we having for pregame meal? And some of those things you kind of take for granted, if you're not in that situation, but it is important. It is vital to the success of our young ones. That might be their only meal. I hate to sound like that, but it's the truth. So during my interview, I've made that known that was one of my high priorities to feed, and not just bagels and fruit. And I mean, the first game we had Steve Simmons, who's class of '98. He came and, I mean, he's a chef. So he had a gourmet breakfast for the guys. And a lot of things like that just go a long way, and I hope the guys appreciate it. And I know they do. But meals cost. I mean, on average, it costs us about $250, $300 a game to feed these guys. And one of the things I did when I first took over the program, I reached out to the alumni page on Facebook, and I just asked for $100 from each alum. There was a website that was set up for whoever wanted to donate, and you could donate online. It went straight to the football funds, right? Like, we didn't handle any money. Then we also asked the parents for $100. And it wasn't the best, I'll be honest. So we need more of that. Again, we asked parents or whoever to help out during the game, concession stands, holding the chains during the game. The concession stands worked alongside of the booster club. Whatever was made, 50% went to the booster club, 50% went to the football program. And that wasn't up to par either. So things like that, which may sound minute, is very, very large or very big to the success of our program.
That was very disturbing when I realized that one of the greatest bases, alumni bases, one of the more promising economic communities in the city has a segment of families that are so under the poverty level that they are in need for food for their young people. From UCity, back when I was there, we were the place to be. We were uppity. But to say that we have to find ways to give nutrition to our athletes in this day and age with the resources and the economical strength that University has is not something that we should even fathom. So that's something I really is true to my heart. Whatever you need me to help you with to help not just the football team, but if that's the football situation, I'm sure it's rampant throughout the school and the school district. So that's new to me and very discouraging, but we got to be better. We got to do better. And that's it.
Are there any other questions or concerns that we have for Coach that we might want to ask at this time? Anything that we want to bring to the table?
So I've been trying to decide whether to tell this story or not, so I'm just going to tell it. About 15 years ago, I was living in Cincinnati before my wife and I moved back to St. Louis. We both grew up here. And my daughter and her family lived on the corner, first house on Hanley and Blackberry, catty corner from the high school. Or picture that. And we were visiting one weekend, and it turned out it was homecoming weekend, and it was a football game. So I grabbed my 6-year-old grandson by the hand, and across we walked to University City to go watch the football game. And we had someplace else to go. So I said, okay, Jordan, we're going to watch the first half. I want to see the halftime show because I want to sing the alma mater with my alumni buddies. And he said, what's that? And I said, you'll find out. So we watched the first half of the game. During that time, I talked to several folks who were walking around who looked to me to be staff people. And I was thanking them for naming the high school stadium and track after Coach Mull and Coach Schemmer, who were the football and track coaches when I was there. Nobody had any idea who they were. Okay. So I get to halftime and I say, okay, Jordan, here we go. The band comes out, does their thing, and they're great. No reference to the alumni on homecoming weekend. No singing of the alma mater, which was, I know it's probably not done now, but it was done back in the day. My point in telling the story is I think there's an opportunity through the football program to draw alumni back to the school on homecoming weekends and other times if we did some things that were that folks from that era could relate to. So that's my story and my pitch, and I'll shut up.
Mr.
Okay,
Spector, I'm
one
sorry.
second. I'm sorry. Before I lose this train of thought, because it will, yeah, real quick. Fortunately, the principal, Mr. Mike Peoples, is very, we as the Alumni Association, we have a very good rapport with him and good communication with him. So if you do not mind, put all of that, make me a list, a laundry list of things that we can bring to Mr. Peoples. Send that to us in an email, or I'm sorry, I forget, Dr. Peoples. And we will get that to him as soon as possible so that we can start implementing those things as soon as our upcoming homecoming as well. Because we've been trying to come up with some ideas of bringing the alumni back into the building, back into functions. And it does seem like homecoming is the best way to do that because that's when we have the largest population of alums coming back to the school. So anything you can think of that we should bring back or even start new traditions with, please add that to that list and get that to us.
And I was just gonna say, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Part of the mantra this year was restore the roar, right? So restore their pride that we had. We did a bonfire this year, the day before homecoming, which turned out to be awesome. And homecoming was packed like it used to be back in the day. But I love that tradition, and I'm with you. I think that, that school song needs, like, everybody needs to know it, including myself, right? Like, I know where to find it and look it up, but I couldn't sing a line for you. So I definitely love tradition. I think that needs to come back. And again, I'm an open door, open book. I want to know all the tradition, but we quiz the guys all the time about what's the name of the stadium, right? Like, we took pride in that. So I love that, Mr. Spector. I do.
Sounds like a plan, you guys. I definitely need to learn it. I won't lie. I don't. When I was there, they had definitely cut that off. But I mean, I think we do have some works in motion, some communication, some conversations that are going to be had, through this meeting. I'm excited to see what we can come up with, even with the nutrition, conversation. That is something that I personally specialize in. Your fuel is everything. You can't do anything with the empty tank. So I'm excited to see, what you guys do with that. Do we have any more questions for the coach before we conclude?
So we will ask Dr. Peoples to, be Joe Clark, maybe wear that hat for a bit so that we can get song memorized.
Okay, we're laughing right now, but I'm sure he would be pretty open to just about anything that we would suggest. Okay, and I do say just about when he does have a limit, but yeah, I'm sure there's not very many things that we could ask that he would say no to.
Gotcha.
By the way, to be clear, I'm not arguing that we need to revive the alma mater for today's student. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is doing things that attract
Tradition.
Tradition, right? That's what I like. Yeah.
Earlier, yeah.
That would be called a
I mean,
remix.
we didn't even have to sing it. If the band would have played it. By the way, it's the Wisconsin fight song, but don't tell anybody. So the music's available, so you don't even have to get it sung. You just play it during halftime of a thing, and we'll invite alumni and from the 60s and whatever, and I bet you they'll show up.
Yeah, there is a specific zeal and fire that my whole family's from U-City, and everybody went to that school, and I would love to see that, to continue moving forward for the future generations. So I'm sure that we can put some stuff together, and continuing to have these conversations will allow us to do so. You think?
Yeah,
Definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Any more remarks or questions?
Anyone that would like to be connected either with Coach Colquitt or Dr. Peoples, and Anaya's going to say it as we wrap up too, but I dropped the Alumni Association email in the chat. The official Facebook page, you can go there and drop information. You can call the high school, because we want to make sure that there is a deliberate intention with these meetings. Although it's great to get together and see people, we want to have some positive outcomes. And for those of you that want to connect, that want to get involved, first of all, we welcome you and we appreciate you, but we want to connect you with the correct people and make some things happen. So this is more than just a conversation.
That sounds good. It's definitely a good starting point.
I want to say that I appreciate you guys for getting on here. I'm excited to see, the alum people that came before me that I've never seen before, just really reach out and just show interest in the youth and who we have on the team now, and really wanting to see that legacy that U-City has, continue. So I appreciate you guys from getting on here. I'm sure that, like, I'm going to say Miss Pritchard and Miss Hogan would say the same.
We can work on those first names later.
I'm having a hard time. So definitely, you guys, thank you for joining. And like I said, if you did catch the replay, or you watch this later, or even right now, you might ask yourself how you can get involved. Like I said earlier, University City High School Alumni is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please feel free to follow and watch, see the updates and things that we're doing. You can join the association. It is $25 for a yearly due. This is not monthly.
Time out. This year, in celebration of class of 23, membership dues are only $23 this year.
What? $2?
I don't give a pay.
No, listen, it's an inflation. So that $2 is well, then $23.
Just give away the whole house.
Okay.
But I say this to say, there are so many different things that you can help with. Like I said, communications and marketing committee, being a class ambassador, or if you know someone that wants to get active or wants to represent their class, we have plenty. Please let them know. The expo committee, we've got the homecoming committee. We're talking a lot about homecoming. That is a wonderful way to get connected, and nothing is more exciting than homecoming season anyway. The Sports Hall of Fame. I would love to see what you guys do, especially on this group that got involved. I would love to see what you guys could do with that. The alumni picnic, and the newsletter, or even if we get to talking and we find something else to create to get involved in. Would absolutely love for you to get involved. The details of how to sign up and what's needed for these opportunities is posted on the University City High School Alumni Facebook page. If you or anyone you know is interested in serving in this committee, please email your name and your contact information to University City High School Alumni at gmail.com. We hope to see you for the next U to U in February. The topic of that conversation will be basketball. If you have any suggestions for future conversations, please drop them in the chat. Social media comments will be posting again. I won't be your host, but someone will, and they will be more than happy to get those rolling. You can email once again at University City High School Alumni at gmail.com, and I will let you know, Linda, is it? I'll let you know. You know what? We'll do it later.
Ania, excuse me. What you just said is the email address is not what's in the chat.
Is it not?
What did I put the wrong thing in there, Alan? Because I dropped that in there. What did I put?
You said
the high school. I forgot the word high school. So Anaya's interpretation is correct. Mine is incorrect. I'll put it incorrectly. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, let me say it one more time. University City High School Alumni at gmail.com. That is going to be the correct contact information. I just said that for recording purposes only. But just let you know where you can get connected at. I know a lot of younger alumni reached out to me with things that they wanted to look into. Some people asked me about band. When are they doing the band one? Or when are they doing, different activities? So I'm excited to see. I'm really hoping, moving forward, we can get some younger classes on here, older if the case may be. I'm excited to see how we can kind of bridge the gap and really encourage that University City pride to continue. So thank you guys for coming.
I got one quick thing before you go. So you said the next one is basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I'm assuming you're going to try to rotate through all the sports.
It's
what
not
about
even
just sports?
It's not just sports related.
Sports.
This is really just
Right,
the conversation to bridge the gap. The reason we chose football first, because when we initially were going to do this, it was actually football season. And we ended up altering the date. And right now we're in basketball season. So we're trying to remain relevant as that's concerned. But literally because there's so many topics to choose from. You could do National Honor Society, you could do band, you could do cheerleaders. So it's not just sports related. It's mainly about bridging that gap, bringing alums together with the current University City High School family, seeing how we can work together, build together, etc.
Right. I guess the only reason I was asking that question, the next one, I was kind of just thinking out loud, maybe just have it sports in general. Because I didn't play basketball, but a lot of the football players play basketball, so I'm friends with them, and they play baseball. I don't know if you could draw more, because if somebody says it's about basketball, they might say, well, I'm not going to participate. I wasn't involved in basketball. But if it's sports, regardless of the sport, you might get more people to be involved.
That's a good point.
Just a thought.
That's a great point. Something definitely to consider.
Because all the sports have the same needs. I'm pretty sure all the sports have the same exact needs.
But you're right, we could bring more people out because we won't isolate them thinking if I didn't play basketball or if I didn't play field hockey, this is not for me. Right,
because the football is what grabbed my attention. But I'm like, if you said baseball, well, I didn't play baseball at U City, so it may not have grabbed my attention the same way that football did. Or if it was just general sports at U City, then that might pull more people in. Just
Okay.
Just a comment.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And one thing I do think as well, word of mouth is awesome, right? Like we spread the word, we know the date, we have more people on. I think that would be awesome too. So, but this was awesome, and I appreciate you all coming on and everyone who had a hand in making this happen. This was great. Thank you.
Sure.
Well, thank you. I
agree.
look forward to what you're going to do with this team.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. It's a work in progress, but you know that's what we're built to do. So,
And I can't wait to hear the 2023 tradition U City chant with the remix.
yeah.
Right. We'll
It's
probably
coming.
see it on TikTok or something.
The
Oh my
2023
God.
version is coming.
Well,
We're
you
gonna have you
guys,
lead it though.
right. You guys, thank you, like I said, once again, for logging in and getting connected. And if everything is done, we will conclude, and I will tell you all good evening.
All right.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you,
Good evening,
everyone.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Have
night.
a good one.